Hello everyone, JRD96 here with a brand new reaction. As you can tell by the title, it's another Crank Gameplays video. Now this video caught my attention because of the fact that it said story time. So this video he's going to pretty much be telling the story of all the times he almost died. And I can kind of get the idea of I kind of can get the gist of what he's referring to. Based on what he's holding in his hand, I think it might be related to his peanut allergy. So that's probably one of the stories. As you are aware, he has a peanut allergy, so and he has that bracelet on to let everybody know. But I might as well get right into the story and hear it from him. Hear it from the horse's mouth. I'm sorry, Ethan. But I might as well find out and listen to what his take on it. So anyways, let's get right into it. So without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we?
Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Why are we in my kitchen? No reason at all.
God knows why.
Actually, I probably shouldn't even be in my kitchen because as you can hear, the audio is probably garbage. The audio is really bad because it's like open space.
Oh, he's got the piercing from Unis Honest.
So much reflection happening. I'm talking into a fucking like marble countertop. I just felt like filming a video in a different space, and I had one of my lights up here, and I was like, hey, why not film it here in my kitchen? I don't know, it kind of looks cool, right?
Yeah.
That's different. Today, I wanted to do a story time video, as many YouTubers have done in the past. Story time videos are kind of fun, you know, a little different, story time. So I thought that I'd tell you fascinating stories of how I've almost died a couple times. How's that sound? How's that sound? I think I've told a couple of these stories a few times, maybe on like streams or something. I don't know if I've talked about them in videos before, actually, though, so that's why I kind of want to talk about it. But yeah, I've almost died a couple times. So as pretty much all of you know, I have a severe peanut allergy.
We all know that.
I can die from 1/500th of a peanut. Yeah, I'm kind of a pussy, dude. And so when I was little, like 18 months old, my parents found out that I had a peanut allergy. They found out, this wasn't originally going to be part of this, but they found out because I guess I was kind of a picky eater as a baby, which is weird because other than, obviously, peanuts, because I can't eat them, I'm really not a picky eater at all. There's very few things that I don't like, and I don't even know if there's anything that I don't like to the point that I wouldn't eat it. But I guess I was kind of a picky eater, so my mom decided to put peanut butter on pasta. That's weird. Why would you do that? But I touched my tongue to it, broke out in hives. Parents took me to the hospital, which is thankful that I didn't eat more than just like touching my tongue to it, because I probably would have died then too. But yeah, the doctors did some tests and they were like, okay, he's definitely allergic to peanuts. Anyway, my whole life has been without the peanut, except for a couple times. Whoopsies. So the first time that I ever had an allergic reaction, I guess I should give a warning on this too. I mean, you already know from the video title.
You could tell, like, if you have a peanut allergy, don't do it.
Almost dying, and a lot of like shock and shit like that. So if that doesn't sit well with you, maybe you shouldn't listen. So I was in 7th grade, and I was getting ready for school, having my breakfast, and I decided to drink part of an Odwalla protein shake, which I don't know if Odwalla still exists anymore, but I had a little bit of an Odwalla protein shake with my breakfast, and then I went out to the bus and started feeling real weird, started feeling kind of itchy. And keep in mind, this is the first time that I've ever had an allergic reaction other than when I was super young. But I don't remember that at all. And so I got to the bus stop, started feeling really weird, and so I lifted up my shirt, and sure enough, I was covered in hives. If you don't know anything about allergies or allergic reactions or anything, usually you'll get like hives, or your face will puff up, you'll get really swollen,
your eyes will water like crazy.
You can literally feel your throat start to close up. You might throw up, you might have like really bad diarrhea or something, because your body is trying to get it out of your system. So anyway, I was really lucky because normally at that time, my parents already would have been gone, because usually I left for school shortly after they would have left for work. So I'm not actually sure why they were still home, but I'm really glad that they were still home, because I went up into their room and I just took all of my clothes off because I was super itchy and I'm covered in hives. And so I just like took all of my clothes off, and I was like, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. And so I went into the bathroom and I started throwing up everywhere, and then I stood up and I said, give me my EpiPen, and then I passed out. So that's kind of spooky.
Oh shit.
And so I woke up to not being able to breathe. My throat had like pretty much closed up. I couldn't breathe, and I woke up to my dad giving me the EpiPen. Yeah, so that was scary. If my parents weren't there, I would have passed out
And probably died.
and died. Yikes. And so it's also crazy because when you have an allergic reaction, you're supposed to have a lot of Benadryl as well. I should probably know why Benadryl is beneficial. Is it anti-inflammatory? It's an antihistamine. Why is it good? I don't know. But, so when I had the reaction, when I got home, I took 4 Benadryl before getting my EpiPen. In the ambulance,
Oh my gosh,
took 4
shush.
more Benadryl. They gave me 4 more Benadryl. Then at the hospital, they gave me the equivalent of 4 more Benadryl. So I had, give or take, 12 plus Benadryl.
Oh my god. You want a Benadryl rush?
That, but I also was going into shock too, or I had gone into shock. I had gone, when you have these kind of allergies, you go into anaphylactic shock. Which I don't actually know how anaphylactic shock is different from other forms of shock. I mean, I assume because it's different because, I don't know, normal shock, like related to injuries and stuff, is, you know, because you're being injured, and this is because your body is trying to kill itself.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, whoops. It's weird because
Lost so
my
much blood in the
EpiPens
match. He went into shock after he went backstage.
They're a spring-loaded needle.
Yep, those are the
and
things
so,
he uses to.
You know, it should technically hurt a lot, but it actually doesn't hurt. I don't know if it doesn't hurt because it actually doesn't hurt, or because it doesn't hurt because your body is saying, "Hey, we're in shock. We're not going to feel anything." Also, I was like going
The
through
adrenaline?
consciousness again.
Probably the adrenaline.
So yeah, EpiPens.
EpiPens.
What a fun time. I always carry 2 EpiPens on me, also, at all time. They're just in my pocket. Because you can have another reaction up to 6 hours later. Also, there is a chance that maybe it doesn't work for some reason. I don't know, but it's good to carry 2. And if you have a severe allergic reaction, or if you have a severe allergy, please carry EpiPens if you can get them. That's the other thing that's really fucked up. Is that EpiPens are extremely expensive. At least the standard EpiPens are. I know that they're pushing out like alternatives right now. But the normal EpiPens, which aren't covered under my insurance for some reason, are about $700 for a 2-pack. So
oh my god, $700 for 2 of those things?
Be able to afford that, and so it's like, okay, well, I guess I might just die then because I can't afford.
That is a load of garbage.
It's really fucked up. Anyway, that's not what this is about, and so obviously when you have an allergic reaction or an allergy attack, you get super, super tired, not only because of the intense amount of Benadryl that I give you, but also because your body was just in shock and basically you almost died. So you basically just, at least in my experience, the few times that this has happened, you just sleep for a really long time, for the rest of the day, probably the rest of the next day. You get big bruises on your thighs because if you want to know about how to do an EpiPen, oh boy, I'll go get my I'll teach you, hold on.
Oh my god.
So usually, every EpiPen, they come in 2-packs by the way, it comes with an EpiPen trainer, which doesn't have a needle in it, but it's pretty much, it's the same thing to just...
It's just like a practice thing.
I couldn't find my trainer because most of the time I don't ever use it, but I do have an expired EpiPen. So we are going to demonstrate this on a tomato that's going bad. So, again, don't do this. Use a trainer. This is how my parents taught me how to use it when I was growing up. So this is just the little case that it comes in. The current ones that I have don't have this, but it's different. Yeah, so they would take fruit and they would teach me how to use it because it also has some force and stuff to it. So you take off and this is a little bit different depending on the EpiPen that you're using, but it's all basically the same. You take off the blue thing. This end says on it, it's the needle end. So don't touch that. Hold it like this, and then you have to go on. You have to go on the outer thigh. This part of the thigh, the outer thigh. You squeeze the person's thigh or your thigh. You go on the outer thigh, and then
boom.
Do this. Ready? And then you keep it in there for about 10 seconds. So, yep. And then this comes out like this. So that's the needle that's in there. This slides out to protect it because that's now a needle. But always stab on the outer thigh, never, ever, ever the inner thigh. Also, the thigh is pretty much the only place that you do it. If People ask, like, the heart, like in Pulp Fiction. Definitely don't do that.
No.
Never in the neck, never in the arm. You do...
The thigh.
Let me show you these gams real quick.
Oh my gosh, stop
You do
it.
the outer thigh. This is the inner thigh. Never stab there. Always
On the right side.
Here,
Right here.
You squeeze and stab on the outer
Boom.
thigh. You do it on the thigh because it's the fattiest part. Always the outer thigh because the inner thigh has arteries. If you hit one of those, you won't die from an allergy attack. You'll die from bleeding out. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent, but the more you know. I've just taught you how to use an EpiPen. That's also why I have this wrist bracelet, too.
Yep.
Wrist bracelet? This medical alert bracelet. It just says Ethan Nestor, anaphylactic peanut allergy. You flip it over. It has, it says, what does it say? It says EpiPen on person, and then I have an emergency contact on there. But yeah, I wear this because if I ever pass out or I'm having an allergic reaction, there's a little bit of info. It tells what my medical things are. Second time I almost died.
Oh boy.
This one was, I don't actually think I almost died from this. So, never mind on that. But, second time I thought I was having an allergic reaction was actually the first time I ever went to PAX East. And I think that this was due to, I think I had some sort of sickness at the time anyway. I also wasn't eating a ton that day, and I wasn't drinking a lot of water, which is really important if conventions
Well,
are
probably
a thing again.
dehydrating.
Make sure you're well fed, make sure you're
That's
drinking
probably
a lot
why
of
you're
water,
probably dehydrated. That's probably what
around
happened.
a ton of people, and you are, you know, walking a lot, and so it can get very congested. But my dad and I were walking around, and I was like, hey, I need to sit down for a second because I'm getting kind of lightheaded, which is something that's happened to me a lot. I think I just have, like, an iron deficiency. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to drink some water. This is when I was 15? No, I had to be like 16 at this point, because I was already doing YouTube. So I was probably 16.
So it was 2014, right?
And so, sat down for a minute, had some water, then got up, we started walking, and then I don't remember anything, because I just fell over and passed out completely. And so, because of my history with my allergy, my dad thought that I might be having an allergic reaction. EpiPens also are just filled with epinephrine, which is something that your body produces naturally. So there is really no risk of taking an EpiPen when you're not actually having an allergic reaction. If I wanted to, I shouldn't actually do this ever. If I wanted to, I could stab myself with that right now. And nothing really would happen. Because your body naturally produces it. So there's no risk in giving somebody and thinking maybe this person is having an allergic reaction. You can give them an EpiPen and it'll be fine. So my dad thought that I was having an allergic reaction. I was passed out on the floor. He gave me the EpiPen, and then we went to the hospital from there. But it turns out I wasn't having an allergic reaction, they don't think, because I didn't have any other symptoms, and so they thought that it was just me getting very overwhelmed in the large crowd. Third place.
Or dehydration.
This was an actual allergy attack. This was about 2.5 years ago or so. It was April of 2018.
Oh man, so this was recently.
I went to Whole Foods and I did something that was stupid actually. So other people with allergies shouldn't do this.
Dumbass.
I don't know why I thought this was fine to do, but I did it anyway. I went to like the salad bar, and I just got rice. I just got rice and maybe like a soft-boiled egg. But the thing that I, for some reason, didn't think about, which I think about all the time, but I don't know why I didn't piece this together at that point, was there was a bunch of other dishes over there, and a couple of them had peanuts in it. And so I scooped the rice in with the spoon that they had there, I ate it, and then I went on my way. And I was just doing some other, like, shopping and stuff. And so I was then at Target, and I started feeling really weird. My eyes felt really puffy. I was feeling very itchy, but not in a normal itchy way. It's like a very specific feeling when you start having an allergic reaction. You get itchy in like a weird way, and your eyes feel really, really weird, not just like having an itchy eye. So I went into the dressing room, pulled my shirt up, covered in hives, and at that point, me and my friend / current roommate, Catherine, we weren't living together at the time. She lived down the street from me. And so I called her, and I was like, hey, Catherine, can you come to my apartment? Because I think I'm having a little bit of an allergic reaction. So she was like, yeah, sure. And so I went to my car, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and my face was huge. And so I just immediately, and at that point, I wasn't in shock or anything. So this is why I sort of know that I don't think EpiPens really hurt that much. I immediately gave myself the EpiPen,
Good.
called 911, and the thing about it is at the time I was driving a Mini Cooper and I was in the middle of a huge parking lot, and it was a gray car too.
Oh
so they were like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "I'm in the Target parking lot." And they were like, "Okay, what kind of car do you drive?" And I was like, I drive a gray Mini Cooper, but it's in the middle of the parking lot. So they're like, "Okay, rescue's on the way. Is there anything that you can do to make it more obvious where you are?" And so I was like, "Yeah." So I laid on the roof of my car while I was having an allergic reaction. Like, I was
creative, I guess.
Shock on the roof of the
Oh my god.
So that was really scary, and they were required to do this anyway. But I was like, "Will you please stay on the line until they get here?" She was like, "Yes, I have to, but yes, of course." And so they got there, they got me in the ambulance, and then I don't really remember much after that, except for like waking up and Catherine being there. But there was a period of time where I was supposed to show up, and Catherine probably just thought I was dead. But I think at some point in between they were like, "Is there anybody that we can call?" And I was like, "Yes, this person." So those are the times that I've almost died. Really just the first and the last story. Very not fun. For any of you out there with allergies, be very careful. Always carry an EpiPen on you, because you
never know.
Any of those times that I had an allergic reaction, I didn't expect it. I've had a lot of people be like, "Oh, well, like, it would be so rare for me to actually have something that had something that I was allergic to." Yes, in almost 24 years of my life, I've only had an allergic reaction twice, which is very, 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 very small. Yeah. But if I didn't have my EpiPens at those points,
you probably would have been dead.
So better safe than sorry. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed my little story time. This was kind of fun for some reason to film in my kitchen. I don't know, it's something different. Carry your EpiPens if you're allergic to stuff. Be careful out there. Hope you enjoyed my Ethan Nestor's EpiPen training title.
Oh my god.
I don't know what that was. Thanks for watching. There's ETH merch that's out now.
There's ETH merch
is going to be restocked soon because it all sold out. So thank you guys for being so excited about that. Anyway, I'm going to go. See you later.
God. Oh my lord. Oh man. Now that was pretty interesting stories. So pretty much he had a couple of occasions where he thought, well, the first story and the last story in particular, he had an allergic reaction because he accidentally inhaled or ingested or ate a peanut. Yeah, he said 1/500th of a peanut. If he eats that, he gets an allergic reaction. It could kill somebody like that. So the first story, he had some like weird protein shake that I guess had like nut ingredients in it. Maybe, honestly, I think he should have his parents probably should have looked into it too, like see the ingredients and see if it has a nut allergy or whatever. I don't know, like it's weird because I don't have a food allergy that I know of. I don't. All I know is that I'm allergic to cats, so that's unfortunate. But also I've had when I work in the supermarket in the deli department, on occasion I would be asked to clean the slicer or change my gloves because of allergies. And I totally understand. I totally get that. So that's, like, I can't relate to what to him at all because I don't. But I remember vividly being near a cat for so long that my body just went into sneezing and watery eye mode because, holy Christ, that's all I know. Like, it was like 2008 on Halloween, randomly. And I was watching, I think, SmackDown at my aunt's house, and I was sneezing like crazy, and I think it was during the match during Undertaker versus Chavo Guerrero in a casket match. Oh my god, I was sneezing like crazy, runny nose, watery eyes. stuff like that. It was just crazy. But again, that was probably the only like allergic reaction I might have had. It wasn't anything crazy. Like, it was more of like outside contact, because the difference is, I think, with him in particular, when you eat accidentally something that he's allergic to, like nuts, that could cause a huge issue to the body inside. Hence the throat probably closing up, and stuff like that. Hives, I think I had a few hives, stuff like that. So that was not fun, I remember. But also the second story kind of intrigues me, because that was from his first time at PAX East. I think might have been 2014. Had him been. He was... Wait, did he say he was like 16? So it can't be 2014. Wait, because I'm his age. Because we're both the same age. I turned 16 in 2012, so I don't know if he's saying 16. He was at PAX East 2012? No, 2013 maybe. Maybe 2014. I don't know. 17. I don't know. So my guess is what happened there is, because he mentioned that he didn't really eat that much. He didn't really eat or drink much beforehand. So most likely, what probably happened was he probably had suffered a little of dehydration and passed out in the middle of the crowd. So that was probably what happened. He probably had a moment where he got a little dehydrated, because I remember vividly, because he sat down, drank water and stuff. I remember, and then when he got up, started walking again, then he passed out. I remember vividly, because this is kind of similar to what happened to my mom a couple years ago when we were down in Disney World in downtown Disney, or now it's called Disney Springs. That's just a horrible name. I prefer downtown Disney. We were getting our caricatures done, and Mom got her margarita. And you gotta remember, and I gotta go back a little bit. That particular day was just hectic as all hell. We were staying at the Polynesian, and I don't know, Disney likes to claim that everything is perfect. The fucking rooms we were in were absolute garbage. The fucking, bath, the water head, if you take a bath in there, fucking broke off, shot out, and hit my dad in the foot. We had to switch rooms a few times, get different key cards because they stopped working, etc. And then it finally it was that day in particular with the shower head, or bathtub head, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it shower head to make it better, sound better. So it was that day in particular when we had to switch rooms. We went down to downtown Disney to get our caricatures, because that's the usual thing we do whenever we ever go down there, the rare times we go down there. And Mom gets her margarita, and she takes a sip, and she starts to feel like... then I hear her go, oh, ooh, that was strong, I guess, maybe. And then next thing you know, she just tumbles down and falls to the ground, passes out. Pretty much giving me and my dad fucking heart attacks, because we thought, fuck, something's happening. He gave her mouth to mouth, started doing chest compressions, started yelling to call 911. And then she wakes up on the ground, it was like she had the glazed look in her eye, and then next thing you know, she's kind of and then she comes to, and then stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. And then eventually, maybe 5 minutes later, a medical team comes up and, checks on her, and Turns out she probably might have dehydrated a little bit. She wasn't probably drinking enough water that day, because again, when you're down in Florida, it's hot as fucking hell down there, so that doesn't help either. So that was probably a scary time, but it really scared me, and it was really scary for me, because I thought in that moment my mom was going to die at Disney. But that I had something similar happen to me where I randomly passed out in the middle of my college class. Where I guess it wasn't dehydration because I ate beforehand. I drank water before I left. I drank soda. I drank, I ate some food. Like I ate plenty of food beforehand. And then I had class, and I go in my class, and I'm wearing this hoodie. This, like, American flag hoodie. I don't know why I'm wearing this one hoodie in particular. I don't know why I had it, but I had it. Whatever. Just randomly, magically shows up in my closet one day. But I'm in the middle of my class, and we're starting, and, a couple minutes go by, 5-10 minutes go by, and then next thing you know, I started to feel lightheaded, and it felt like something was trying to suck the life force, like the life out of me. And I'm trying to fight it, and I guess eventually I just gave up. And then, I don't know what, it's like the desk that has like the arm rest here, like an armrest is here, of the desk. And next thing you know, I guess I pass out, and then I'm like this. And then the way I remember vividly was I wake up, and it's like like a fade in circle transition. Like it's like a circle fade in, and I just I'm looking at my professor looking at me concerned, like, are you alright? And I'm like, and I'm just kind of like looking around like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like, oh, I think I just passed out. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know if I don't think I dehydrated or anything, and so it turns out I might have, overheated because I was wearing the hoodie in a air-conditioned room. So that makes sense. Yeah, but one of my the classmate that was sitting right next to me, she was saying that I looked really pale moments before it happened. So I lost a lot of color in my face before it happened, so that was not good. So those were my stories. That's not somewhat related to what happened to him, but it related to the story that might have happened, the second story that happened. But the third story is kind of intriguing because he went to Whole Foods and, he sampled food. And it was like, I guess those, kind of like an olive bar. Sometimes one olive is in another olive bar, and I guess there were some form of nuts over there, nearby the rice, and I guess one of the nuts might have accidentally went in there when someone else was over there trying to pick out the peanuts, and they might have accidentally put them in the rice. And then Ethan comes by, eats some of the rice, and might have accidentally inhaled one of the nuts, and caused that reaction. And that was like, and he said it was around 2018, April 2018. And he had the way to get everybody's, get the paramedics' attention when he was on the phone with 911 was to lay on the top of his car because he was in a huge-ass parking lot of Target. So, yeah. The only possible way to do it. Yeah, just look around and look for that random person that's sitting, laying on top of his car, puffed up to the gills with hives and watery eyes and just looking like a balloon because he had an allergic reaction. And obviously he always carries those EpiPens, I hope I said that right, on him, and he has to hit him in the outer thigh, not the inner thigh, the outer thigh. And it has, I guess, something that our body produces. I don't remember what he said it was, but it was something that our body produces, so it's not lethal if it doesn't turn out to be an allergic reaction that you end up having or whatever. So it's a safe thing. But again, what baffles me is how much they cost for a 2-pack. $700? Are you fucking kidding me? No wonder why people die. A lot of people might die from allergic reactions. Because you overpriced the hell out of them with like $700 for two of these. Like, are you serious? Come on. Anyways, enough rambling about my stories and my horrible, miserable life. It's all about him. So anyways, I thought that was pretty interesting to watch and, interesting stuff. But this is kind of the reason why I kind of found this intriguing was because of the other video I reacted to that was similar from Mark when he was talking about the worst pain he was ever been in his life. When he got his, that tumor removed and his appendix removed. That huge surgery where he had the scar going down his abdomen. And I guess they didn't give him, painkiller. And he had to endure 24 hours of excruciating pain from the surgery. The fact that the doctors didn't even believe him? Oh, I swear, if I was one of those, doctors or nurses, and if I was one of those people there, I would have been like, look, he's in fucking pain. I don't think he just had his surgery. He just had a fucking surgery where you pretty much scooped out his fucking intestines and everything else just to get a tumor removed. And you're saying that he's faking it. Are you kidding me? Weird ass doctors. But then again, there are some probably sketchy doctors out there, like that one story I remember hearing about them accidentally, killing a baby, and then they're like, okay, well, let's just blame the parents because we want to cover our asses. But anyways, enough rambling, enough about me, enough about that. I'll end the video here. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure also to check out my Instagram because I make cool ads on Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even myself. I also reenact with the cosplays on there, so go check it out. Be sure also to check out my Tumblr and my Discord in the description as well. So until next time, JRDL96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!